Well, welcome to this section of the Rooted Devotional series as we walk through some more characters in the Old Testament. I get the privilege of talking about Moses, and it'll take me more than one time. And I'm recording this while I'm in quarantine, so you may not see it for a few weeks. So hopefully by then I've cleaned up a little bit, back in the office, all of that. But taking some time to record these while I'm at home, so that explains the background and maybe a few other things. So Moses is an interesting character in the Old Testament, one of the great characters of the Old Testament, of course. And so I want to start with the beginning of his story, and maybe you're familiar with it. If you're not, you can read it in Exodus chapter 2 and following. And his birth, even, it says that his parents recognized that he was, in some translations, it says a beautiful child. In some translations, it says that he was no ordinary child. But it was the rule then that babies of the Hebrews would be killed, particularly boy babies would be killed. Sons, they were not allowed to keep. And his mother and family put him in a river basket, famously, and he's drawn out by none other than Pharaoh's daughter. He's adopted by Pharaoh's daughter. His mother gets to nurse him. It's an incredible, fantastic story. And all of his countrymen are slaves. All of his family members are slaves to the Egyptians, and they're being mistreated and oppressed. And Moses gets out of all of that. And a popular word in our culture right now is that of privilege. Now, our world is talking about privilege based on the color of your skin. And, they ask the question, what have you been given that you didn't have anything to do with? Moses didn't have anything to do with being born to a Hebrew family, being put in a river, being drawn out by Pharaoh's daughter, any of those things. He was given those things. He had a privileged life for a Hebrew male. And, we could debate all of this on what that means in our world today, but here's what our world gets wrong. It seems to be that there are many who want to talk about this idea of privilege in a way that you should feel guilty about the privilege you've been given. That's never what the Bible asks us to do. And I'm indebted to other teachers for this. Most notably, Brian Loritz, I believe, is who I heard say it the first time. But what the Bible asks us about privilege is not whether we should feel guilty about it. It's what should we be grateful for? And more importantly, what are we doing with it? What have you been given that you didn't have anything to do with it that you should be grateful for? And what are you doing with it? Specifically, who are you helping? Later, it says that Moses, when he'd grown up, and this is in chapter 2, verses 11 and 12, years later, after Moses had grown up, he went out to his own people and observed their forced labor. He saw an Egyptian striking a Hebrew, one of his people. Looking all around and seeing no one, he struck the Egyptian dead and hid him in the sand. Moses did the right thing. He was would be used by God to deliver the Israelites from the Egyptian oppressors. But in this scene, he classically did the right thing in the wrong way. That is, delivering the Israelites was not him looking around to see who would catch him and killing Egyptians one at a time. That's not what God called him to. It's not how God would use him in the future. And it gives us an easy way, like a really easy test of, is this right or wrong? Moses looked around to see if anybody would catch him. If we have to ask that kind of question, who's going to know, who's going to find out, that's almost certainly something we shouldn't be doing, something that's wrong. If we have to hide it, that's no good. It's a good, quick test. Even the right thing can be done in the wrong way. When we do God's mission, we have to do it by God's method. The Egyptians would die for their oppression of the Israelites, but it's not okay to be the vigilante. So just a few questions at the end of this. What have you been given that you should be grateful for, that you didn't have really anything to do to deserve, or even you having received it? What should you be doing because of it? And finally, how does God want you to go about it? If we can help you with any of these questions at Union Hill, we'd love to. Reach out to us. You can reach out to me or any of our other staff. We would love to help you find the answers to the questions God is asking in your life and the Holy Spirit's drawing you to. We'll see you next time.